What's going on, everybody? It is David Schlotthauer here in the home weather office. I want to make sure you all could actually hear me pretty good here. If I'm not loud enough, I am sorry. Let me see if I can adjust the mic so you all could hear me just fine. So I hope you all are having a fantastic evening. As always, I am working pretty hard today in the home weather office. Been quite the day on this Wednesday, the middle of the work week, on your September the 6th. Unless you're in the Virgin Islands, you're probably turning the calendar to the 7th, the first full week of September, and it has been a first full week of September with a lot of activity. So first of all, we're keeping an eye on Hurricane Lee. That's not the only enemy that we're watching, but we're looking at satellite imagery here. We can see that the system is trying to get its act together here. It's been tough to get an inner core to be well established today. That's why we're still seeing kind of an anemicness to the system. But it is really trying to wrap that convection all the way around. We'll get to more of that in a second. A lot of questions about Lee as it continues to move off towards the west-northwest. But I got some good news tonight. It's actually moving a little bit more, gaining latitude a little bit quicker than what we first thought. So it went from kind of making a turn a little late, and now it's kind of making that turn a little more northwest. We're going to look at the NHC, and then we're really going to dive deep into the modeling and who's going to get impacted. There's a lot of questions about this. I'm still getting them in on the comments in my videos, even on the chat here. Is this going to hit Florida? Is this going to hit the Bahamas? I'm scared. I'm in Bermuda, in the eastern seaboard, like the Carolina coast, Cape Hatteras. If you're in New York, you're probably really worried about this, about hitting you, or if you're in Maine. Well, we're going to be looking at the models, and I want you all to understand that it's just a forecast, and it's not likely to happen. So this look at the NHC today, tonight, today, depending on where you're at geographically. So we do got a hurricane, 80-mile-an-hour winds at the moment. It's not strengthening very much at all, and I can understand why. If we look at the imagery on this, if we go to the satellite floater, system is really struggling. And you all are probably saying, how's it struggling, David? I mean, what are you talking about? It's trying to get organized. It is trying to organize itself, but I want to see a lot of this deep convection that is firing. See this right here? This needs to wrap all the way around, and it's each time it does so, we get a little bit of dry air and shear that tries to kind of just kind of get mixed in. And how I know there's dry air is we also have a little bit of mid-level cloud cover, and in between these layers of clouds, we have a little bit of dry air that's interfering with the core here of Lee. But Lee will take full advantage in the next 24 hours, and it is still expected to become a very big problem once it continues to move off towards the west-northwest. Also, another thing that we, a couple of you in the comments on my previous video, as well as in the live stream, is how strong Jova has actually become today. And this really has caught a lot of people by surprise. It is right here. That thing is really small. And the thing about this is small storms spin up very fast. And we've seen that today. It was surprising to see a Cat 5, but it was not so surprising how strong this would actually get very quickly. And just to show you, if we go to Radar Omega here, by the way, we'll look at Lee here in a second. This system really took off today, and I can click on this. I think this was yesterday. This was yesterday, yeah. Last night, only category 5. Look at this, 90, and then it went from a category 2 to 115, then 135. Now it's 160 miles an hour with gusts up to 195, and sadly, this could still intensify further, possibly now peaking at 175 with wind gusts that could reach over 215 miles an hour. That is very exceptional, absolutely ironic to see that happen. By the way, that's the first Cat 5 in a little while in the Eastern Pacific Basin, in at least a few years. So it's kind of a little, it's not rare. It's not like it never happens, but it doesn't happen very often. And the small system right here tells a lot about why it really just took off. Because smaller systems tend to rapidly intensify more, but they also tend to rapidly weaken too. So there's good and bad about small storms. They strengthen fast, they weaken fast. It's the large storms that you don't want to have because they take a little bit more time to spin down. So back to the NHC again. We'll look at their product discussion here in a second, but long story short, by Friday, this is going to be a major hurricane. There is a lot of model support of this becoming one in such a way that my intensity guidance on this hurricane has unfortunately saying my stream ended. Can you guys hear me? Someone in the chat said my stream ended. I don't know if you all can see me. Sometimes this happens. I don't know if it's YouTube or if it's... I hear you. Okay, he's capping. Yeah, nah, you're good. I can. Stream still running. All right, that's really weird. It's YouTube, I guess. It tends to do that. It's not in my control. My internet's good. I can promise you I've had no internet problems. Actually, my upload speed is over 60 megabits per second. My download speed is over 75 to 100 megabits per second. I think it's just YouTube. YouTube has actually gave me a little bit of trouble today as far as it going out earlier. I don't know if you all experienced that. But anyway, let's tunnel vision on Lee right now. So by Friday morning, this is going to intensify to a major hurricane. Now, all of you are saying, oh, it's 80 miles an hour. It's not going to do much. Don't worry. It's going to. We saw this coming. It's on par. So it is going to it'll likely go to a Cat 3 on Friday, Cat 4 Friday night, then possibly somewhere in here. Now, it's not explicitly shown on the NHC, but I am going Cat 5 on this. And you know me very well, you all. You really do. And there is just so much confidence tonight by most of the intensity models that there is enough confidence for me to raise the intensity to now 160 miles an hour. And I'm going to show you that right here on the models in a second. But it's going to be somewhere in this area. You use red, because red is a very dangerous color to use. So it's going to be right in here where I think we could reach Cat 5 intensity. One of these 2 points, either Sunday night or Monday night, going to be a Cat 5 hurricane we might have to deal with. And I just hate saying Cat 5 in the live stream, but there is a lot of agreement, a lot of impetus. I do think that this is going to really, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Either 155 or 160. It really won't matter. High end 5, low end, high end 4, low end 5. It really doesn't matter. 5 miles an hour really is like comparing 1 mile an hour or 0 mile an hour winds. It's really not much of a difference. All you will need to know is if you're on these islands right here, there will be impacts, okay, with a hurricane this strong. Now, the center, the eye, is not going to impact you all. You know that already. The center, it being the problem, that's what the points indicate on the map, is not going to make landfall. We're not expecting that. But what we will expect is some pretty intense or lots of waves, lots of surf, going to be the problem on these Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic. And when you have a Cat 5 hurricane moving pretty slowly through here, you can sure bet there will be surf that is over, say, 10 feet, maybe 15 feet high. Could even see some breakers approaching 30 or even 40 feet high. So stay away from the waters this weekend if you all can. Probably even, yeah, Saturday, because it's going to be here, so there's going to be swells that emanate out of this. Not only that, there's also going to be surf along Bermuda, because again, waves go out from a central point, and even along the eastern seaboard, there's also going to be high surf too with this. So waves are an impact. Okay, you don't need the wind, you don't need the rain, you don't even need storm surge here. All you need is surf. And that is nature's #1 killer as well. Don't turn your back towards the water, because water is dangerous, as it has been for trillions of years since Earth was born. Well, that for another story, for another day. So the key messages from Hurricane Lee is, my point needs to be clear here. Lee is forecasted to become a major hurricane. We all know that, right? I just explicitly show that, and there is a lot of data to back that up that I'm about to show you. We're going to go through the whole 9 yards, and say that with me in chat. We're going to go through the whole 9 yards and looking at every single model, and we're going to diagnose the actual outcomes of what might end up happening. Kind of how I forecast. So, essentially. So, impacts on the northern Leeward Islands could be a little significant because of the surf. That's mainly what this is driven by. While it is too soon to determine the exact location and magnitude of these impacts, interests in these areas should monitor the progress of Lee and further updates to the forecast, because again, this is a big cone. I mean, that's not small at all. That goes from all the way over here to here. That's a full 8 degrees in latitude. That's a very big cone. You can put that over Florida. That would cover Florida full, including Georgia and the Carolinas. So yeah, this could still do this, like some of the models are showing, or it can do this. We'll show you the models. Kind of disclose that and kind of clear things up. Swells generated by Lee are expected to reach portions of the Lesser Antilles on Friday and the British and U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico this weekend. These swells are likely to cause life-threatening surf and rip current conditions. By the way, I'm sorry if I do cough a little bit. Allergy season, or what I call the Indian summer allergy season, has really hit me hard recently, so I do apologize. If I do cough, I'm not trying to cough. That's why you hear me go like that, because I don't want to cough so many times on the stream. But don't worry. Don't worry. I'm fine. Okay? You can bet me on that. I'm fine. It's just stinking allergies. They freaking suck. I almost spit out the F-bomb there in the live stream. You guys would have probably went crazy if I did. So here's a look at the chances, and they have been on the decrease a little bit. Don't let that fool you, though. A little bit. Still a 5 to 30% chance of tropical... Oh, wait, no. Is that 30? No, that's 20. Sorry. 5 to 20% chance of tropical storm force winds over Puerto Rico, over the U.S. British Virgin Islands, including for the Guadeloupe Island. Not only that, we also got portions of the Bahamas here that are under the gun with maybe a tropical storm. So as we do take a look here at Lee, let's look at the discussion. I think I covered everything on their product. I didn't miss anything. I don't think I did. I think I did a pretty good job. Oh, and by the way, tropical storm force winds, if they're possible, they would impact the islands between perhaps Friday night into Saturday, all the way through maybe Sunday afternoon or evening over the Dominican Republic. That's if any tropical storm force winds were to occur. So now I want to read the discussion, and again, I mentioned this in my videos. I know people don't like reading stuff sometimes, but sometimes reading is good as far as it goes. So Lee, it has an asymmetrical structure this evening with the bulk of the convective activity located to the east of the center. Doverick estimates from SAB were a pair of about 65 knots, but objective Doverick estimates from the University of Wisconsin are a little higher. Therefore, Lee's initial intensity is set at 70 knots. Which isn't a surprise, and I will show you some proof on that with the RAL website, and I love RAL. And I'll let you know the links to these websites, so at least I'm not hiding stuff. I'm not one of those people where, oh, how did you find that? I will make sure I link everything in the chat. I don't have time for the description, though, anyways. So ridging is expected to build westward and even out ahead of the hurricane over the southwestern Atlantic. That seems a little new. So ridging is expected to build westward. We know that. And even out ahead of the hurricane over the southwestern Atlantic during the next 5 days. I don't like hearing that because that means this could make a quick jog to the west. And there are some models that do indicate that when that occurs, good golly, we hope it happens later than earlier, because if it happens at the wrong time, then this could impact the Leeward Islands. So that's why that cone is really big. So no surprise by that. With its forward speed decreasing by about 7 knots by day 5, that is very slow too. That's about 9 miles an hour. So that's not moving very fast, okay? That's a big problem. The new NHC forecast is right on top of the previous prediction during the first 3 days of the forecast. After that, the official forecast has been nudged westward. That's important. So basically, this cone right here has actually been tilted. So the first 3 days looks pretty good, but then this portion of the cone has been moved over. I know it's hard to explain. So now it looks like the cone here has gone a little closer to the Bahamas. And yes, if this gets anywhere close to the Bahamas, even if it misses it by 30 miles, a Cat 5 hurricane or a 4 would be absolutely devastating to those islands. So keep that in mind. You know how some hurricanes, you need the center to get hurricane force winds? This one, you might not even need the center because hurricane force winds may expand well out of, say, maybe 75 miles out from the center. And what makes this very dangerous too is if this moves north or rides the eastern U.S., and if it does what I said, if it does, a big if, the wind field out of this is going to expand as well. Let me know if I'm too loud, everybody. I have the sensitivity up a little bit. If I'm too loud, just kind of get my attention, because it's better to not blow off your eardrums. That was probably ear raping anyways. After that, the official forecast has been nudged westward like we talked about, leaning toward the latest TVCX and the HCCA consensus aids, and the track model envelope continues to indicate that the core of Lee will pass to the north of the northern Leeward Islands. That's a given. We don't see that happening. However, interest in those islands should continue to monitor Lee's forecast, as the typical 3-day NHC track air is roughly about 90 miles. And the northernmost Leeward Islands currently have at least a 1 in 4 chance of experiencing sustained tropical storm force winds on the southern side of the storm. All right. Now, this right here is phenomenal. This is exceptional. And what you're about to see here is straight up concerning from the NHC. You don't hear the NHC use wording like this. All right. You know how that can be sometimes. So, global model fields show a well-defined upper-level anticyclone. And we're going to be looking at that in a second. Developing over Lee during the next 24 hours and persisting over the hurricane well into the weekend, into early next week. So there's not going to be shear at all on this. At least, as far as the forecast can see, I don't think if shear does increase, it'll be about day 8 or day 9, maybe even day 10. It could be longer than that even. This hurricane, folks, you better get used to saying Lee many times, because I'm very sure it's going to be with us for more than 10 days. That's a given. So, so this is going to be over the hurricane over the weekend, which should keep the deep layer shear very low, perhaps under 5 knots at sometimes. All right. So no one's complaining about me being too loud. That's good. I'm going to listen to you all in the chat, okay? In addition, oceanic heat content values will double, okay? Will double. That's also another concerning. Actually, you know what? Can I box this all in for you all? Let me see if I can do that. Not that. Stupid darn epic pin. All right, so double. Okay, shear will be quite low. That's also another thing that we want to look at. And upper level anticyclone we want to look at. All right, as a result, rapid intensification is forecasted to begin on Thursday. That's basically tomorrow or today, depending on where you're at. Following the previous forecast, a full 65 knot increase in strength is now predicted during the next 3 days, bringing Lee to a high-end category 4 intensity. This forecast lies close to the very important, and we're going to be looking at this, the HAFS dynamical and HCCA consensus aid solutions. And it is also supported by very high RI probabilities from the DTOPS scheme for the 36 to 48 hour period, and a 74-hour forecast periods as well, which means this could potentially rapidly intensify for the next 4 or 5 days. Fluctuations in intensity are likely by days 4 and 5 due to the potential of eyewall replacement cycles. Yeah, if those even happen. Again, hard to predict. But Lee is still expected to be a large and an extremely dangerous hurricane over the southwestern Atlantic early next week. Yeah. That's not good. High in 4 is a 155 mile an hour wind forecast. So here it is. You need to look at this, folks, right? Let's kind of zoom this in. Take a good long look at that. 80 miles an hour, 85. So the first 12 hours, probably not going to be much for the system, all right? And you're probably going to be like, oh, it's not really intensifying quick. Well, it's not going to happen until Thursday. And most of the models thus far, even going back to a few days, have always predicted RI will begin roughly by Thursday. So 100. So this is a Cat 1. Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3, and Cat 4. That's pretty remarkable. That's a very big jump in winds. In a full day, that's a 40 mile an hour wind increase. It's very substantial. Very. And this could be generous, by the way. Reaching 155 miles an hour. And again, that's very, very generous. Okay, I've seen many hurricane models that go well over this. There could be a possibility this does reach a category 5. It doesn't surprise me at all. And even out to day 5, and you see this, oh, it's 150, 145. Good, it's going to weaken. Don't let that freaking fool you, because the environment is going to remain very favorable for the entire 5-day forecast. The reason why they're bringing down that intensity is because they're not as confident about it being a Cat 5 that far out. It is exceptionally hard to keep something like this at a Category 4 or 5 for such a long time. That's a full 3 days. So imagining if they forecasted 155 for the next 3, between 72 and 120 hours out, that is exceptionally uncommon. So I want to make that clear. This 145 here could get bumped up to 150, 155. At least based on what I see in numerical guidance, this has the potential of reaching 150 to 160 miles an hour from about day 3 all the way out to day 6. Now, after day 6, things get a little bit more uncertain exactly how this all evolves. So back to the satellite imagery we look, and we're going to actually do a little bit of data plotting as well, which is going to be very cool in itself. So this is a look at how strong Lee actually is, and it's trying to get its work done. It's trying to be like, oh, I'm trying to intensify, and this atmosphere is not cooperating. Darn it. You know, it's trying to, and you can see signs of that. But it's going to wait for a little bit because we have some dry air, whatever is left in there, and a bit of shear that is not as strong as it was earlier. Now, we'll get to that little, that little son of a gun. I shouldn't say that, but a little guy, I should say, a little donut of swirling motion in just a second. So, here's a look at how it looks on the IR, and we could actually see. Now, I do present this in my live streams when I actually do them when there's landfalls like we did with Adelia, where we were getting cloud tops of negative 120 Fahrenheit. That's very cold. And so we got cloud tops here of negative 90, negative 100, negative 107, negative 104. We even got a little bit of a tower here, a hot tower, with cloud tops about 108. But you want to see what Lee looks, or not Lee, what Jova looks like? Let's take a look at that. What's up, Diana? Look at how cold these cloud tops are. Negative 112, negative 113 degrees Fahrenheit. That is cold, and there was some lightning around this. So this is very, very, very strong. And the eye itself, really warm too, about 50 degrees. If we go back, actually, from earlier tonight, let's actually go back to the last 12 hours. Let's actually go to 4 o'clock. This eye was really warm. It was actually, might be even warmer now. Yeah, 62 degree eye temperature. That is exceptional. And if we go forward, you can see that eye from earlier, 65 degrees. Thank you, Mark, for gifting the member again. I do appreciate that. 62 here. And this is above freezing. So a very warm eye surrounded by negative 13, 15 degree cloud tops. Man, that is very, very strong. A very pinhole eye, too. It's so tiny. It's so cute, but it is very intense. You don't want to be in that system. You do not. Just because it's small, just because it's, you know, little tiny bitty, doesn't mean anything. All right, so let's take a look here. Excuse me. Let's take a look at RAL. Now, this, I'm going to put the link in the description to this website. And I'm actually going to put a link in the description to windy.com. There's really no link. It's just kind of a coordinates URL. So I'm just going to put that too. Also, I do not want to always forget about the NHC with their products. So I'm actually... Ooh, why is this so big? All right, there we go. We're actually going to put this in the description or in the chat as well, because I do care about you all, and you all need to view this, including... Did I put tropical tidbits in there? No, I didn't. Let me do that really quick. So you all got your links. And make sure you copy and paste that if anyone needs a link, so that way I don't have to keep on posting it in chat. So this is RAL, which is real-time tropical guidance. That's how you say it, RAL. You don't say RAL, you just say RAL. That's at least how I say it. So we got different products here. The most cool thing I like to see is the ADT, and this is the Advanced Doverick technique. You have seen this on my past live streams as well as on my videos. So this right here is not saying the hurricane is exactly 74 knots or it's this strong. This is an estimate. This is a tropical cyclone intensity algorithm. And there's a lot that goes into this. It's all based on what this looks like. This image right here. Okay, so if it has a pinhole eye and ADT sees that, and with very deep convection, it's going to likely be stronger, right? So this is not always going to be reflected into the NHC current intensity forecast or in their initial intensity, because there's a lot of other tools that they use to measure intensity. One of them is recon aircraft, which they will be flying into the system tomorrow, not tonight, tomorrow. So we'll get pretty good data with that. I'm also planning to go live again tomorrow too on when they do fly into the system to collect data too. Remember, these live streams are not only for the sole purpose of keeping you all updated, but this is also for documentation as well when it comes to these storms. So I can look back at this like say 5 or 10 years from now, or even 50 years down the road. So we can see Lee, this is, by the way, Hurricane Lee, it's not 13L. They should change that. They never end up doing it anyways. But this is Hurricane Lee intensity, 74 knots, pressures down to 983 millibars. Now, some of you are probably wondering how strong Jova is, and we're actually going to look at that really quickly. This is 115 knots. Now, some of you are like, 115 knots? No, it's a lot stronger than that. That's why we cannot always rely on satellite intensity estimates. Now, it could be possible that there's an eyewall replacement cycle. That's what the NHC was talking about in their forecast discussion. If you check that out, we won't be looking at that tonight in this live stream unless you really want me to. But winds are at 115 knots. They were very strong earlier, nearing about 140 knots. That's why the NHC went very high on that. Raw T numbers are 7.7, which still support relative intensity of about 155 to 160 knots, but it's not shown here because this is the final T numbers. This is the adjusted intensity estimate. So there's a lot of computerized data that go into this, that, and you can see the intensity based on that. So yeah, just you'd be aware of that the intensity is not always based on the ADT. There's different instruments and different techniques that they use. Another one of those techniques I like to show you all, this is very new, by the way. There's going to be a link in the description below this video, or below this live stream, or in the chat, I should say. And this is a look at Hurricane Lee, all right, of the intensity forecast. We just looked at this, 155 miles an hour right in here somewhere. This is going to be moving over some very warm sea surface temperatures. So keep that in mind. So rapid intensification, we know, we talked about how that's going to really get going. Wait until you see the models. Now, what this is showing us, okay, this is, I was hoping to get the actual map, but this will work too. This is the super blend. Now, one of you all were asking me in the chat on, or in the comment section on my last video, what is the super blend? Why is that important? Well, this is taking all of the ensemble prediction models, which is the Euro, the GEFS ensembles, the UK Met ensembles, the CMC ensembles, all put together. Okay, and so this is giving us a rough idea what is the possible outcome of the system. So, I wish I can zoom in. Maybe I can. No, I can't. Darn it. I cannot zoom in anymore, so you're going to have to look at this closely. I know. When this is a live stream, I can't zoom in like I could if I was recording this. So this is showing us the not thousands, but hundreds at least of different outcomes of what might happen. And boy, this is spread apart like you can ever believe it. We have some model members way up here, and we have some model members way down here in the western Bahamas. Now, I'm not laughing at this just because this is a good thing. I'm just laughing because, man, that is a huge spread. I mean, that is the distance of over 500 to 600 miles of ensemble outputs that could vary a lot. So what I'm telling you all, that this could really change further west still, or this could shift further east. There's that ensemble difference, or these members indicating different outputs. And see this blue shading right here? I don't know if you all can see that. Maybe you all can. If you're looking good enough, I'm sure you all can see that. That's a 5 to 10% chance of this scenario coming true. Now that might seem like, oh, at least there's a chance of it going north. Well, there's also a chance that it doesn't go north either. So that's what this is showing me and telling you all that, yeah, this is a huge, huge fluid situation. In fact, this only goes out to 192 hours out. I would wish to show you all the 10-day outlook because it would have ensembles all the way across, just going absolutely crazy through here. Because, for one thing, this is going to move very slowly at about 4 or 5 miles an hour, and we all know how that can end up going. We saw it with Dorian, right? Remember how Dorian stalled over right here? Not over Great Abaco. It was near Great Abaco. And then it stalled a little sooner, and then it went north, and it did kind of something like that, right? It stalled sooner than what we all were expecting. And that was literally 24 hours before it was going to stall. And that's showing you the possible outcome here of how uncertain this could actually end up being. Okay, remember, the super blend is the super ensemble. It's taking all of the global computer model members, putting them into a one ensemble forecast, and it gives us a even better picture. Now, another thing I wanted to point out too is this ellipse right here. This blue area indicates the more likely outcome. Well, I shouldn't say likely outcome, but this is where the deepest clustering of outputs are. And so that really stretches. That's, I mean, actually, that's a Euro, right? That Euro wants this going this way. The GFS ensemble wants it going that way. Wait, no. No, the Euro is in red. Geez Louise, David. Okay, the Euro wants it doing this. The GFS wants it doing this. So even still, it's not going directly north, which would still, again, bald prediction here, that would make it hit New York if it moves just west of due north. So if we want this to avoid the U.S., it has to go north and then turn out like this. Because if it doesn't, someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to get impacted here over the eastern seaboard. Okay? But again, I'm explicitly telling you all, we don't know the flippin' answer. It doesn't make me, and I don't want you all to think that I'm not a good forecaster. I don't want you all to think that David's not a meteorologist. You know, I'm not a certified meteorologist, but I know I've been doing this long enough to where I know from right from wrong. Okay? It's not easy, I'm telling you. Try to do this all yourself. You just don't know. And if you do it the wrong way, you could be messing with hot water. And that's an idiom, by the way. All right, who is ready for the hurricane models? Are you all excited for this? Let me know in chat. Literally spam "I'm ready" in chat right now, because I'm sure you all have been waiting eversly so patiently for me to show you every single hurricane model. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Okay. I love that. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Oh yeah. I'm ready tonight. I'm all ready tonight. All right, enough with the singing, David. Wake up. All right, I'm going to wake up. Don't worry. So here's a look at the, what do you guys want me to show? Do you want me to show radar or wind? Your guys' choice. Your guys' choice. Wind? Both? All right. HMON wind. Radar, both. Wind, ready. All right, we'll show radar first. Best for last. Make sure you share this and subscribe if you're liking the stream already. Actually, I'm going to add my face cam to this, so y'all can see the lovely David looking at this hurricane. I'm looking at it. Looks pretty funny. All right. So, all right, so let's go forward in time with this. So this is for tomorrow afternoon. Now, remember what we showed you on the NHC? Tomorrow, it's not going to be big in the morning. We're going to see rapid intensification tomorrow afternoon. I strongly believe sometime tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening, I think we're going to see this thing go AWOL. It's going to explode explosively. So when we go out to Friday morning here, this is September the 8th. Yeah, look at that pressure drop. I mean, look at literally in 12 hours, 972, 943. That is substantial on the HWRF. The HWRF is just going ballistic with this hurricane. All right, and actually, I think I can zoom in a little bit so you all can even see this a little bit better. All right, so you can see it as good as I can. Actually, but you know what, though? You all need to see what the model name is. Let's go forward to Saturday morning, 9:43. All right, so the HMON still being bullish, or not being bullish, being very conservative with their prediction of how strong this actually gets, which we'll be looking at other models in just a second here. This is Saturday night? Sunday morning? This is 937 millibars. Really doesn't get much intense than that. All right. It wants an annular hurricane, to say the least. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, you can see it right there. Really funny that it wants the eye to expand, which I doubt that's going to happen. Only if there's an ERC that happens, which is an eyewall replacement cycle. Thank you, Denise, for the $10 donation. But yeah, that is really, it's not very strong compared to with what I'm about to show you. The winds on it, let's take a look at the winds. About a category 4 here. I think it's going to be near a category 5 at this point. This is 63 hours out. By Saturday morning, probably a category 3, about a category 4, likely. Very bullish, though. Or not very bullish. Very conservative. Very conservative. 940. And doesn't really want to strengthen very much. That's very... I don't see that very often from a hurricane model. Wants to be very conservative here, and it's been that way for a while. Probably one of the reasons why the NHC hasn't talked much about that. So that's the wind field on that. But that really develops a inner core very quickly. Once it does, boy, it is going to be pretty interesting and cool to see it happen, as long as it stays away from land. So let's take a look. That's the wind. Let's take a look at our HMON on Lee. So this has it a little different, and let me actually look at that. Very interesting that the HMON thinks that the heaviest rain is going to be on the southern side of that versus on the eastern side. So putting this forward, this is also not excited at all at rapidly intensifying the system at all. Does it a little later. It takes a little longer. But it gets there eventually, down to 927 millibars. There is the eye wall. And then by Sunday, this is 90 hours out. That's 922 millibars. That's very, very low. And it kind of stays there. So kind of a high-end 4, category 4 on this, with winds and heavy rainfall that are anticipated. Now here's the wind forecast. 66 hours out. This is for September the 9th, Saturday morning. Got about a high-end 4 at this point. Pressure 934. 927, 921, 921, 922. Kind of bottoms out there with 134 knot winds. So that's pretty high for a category 4 on the high end. And then it stays that way. So it doesn't indicate that there will be any eyewall replacement cycles taking place with this. Okay. But there's one or a couple more models that I wanted to show you all. We can't forget about our HAFS-A. Boy, wait until you see this. You will think twice about with what you just said, I'm sure. Watch this. Watch this. Spam in chat and say, watch this. Do it. Let's go. Spam it. Watch this. There you go. Woohoo. Great job. Justin Wilson, watch this. Everyone's saying watch this. Hilarious. All right. Watch this. You all are going to be like, David, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. All right. All right. So here's the look. I'm a little entertaining tonight. I guess it's my personality. Friday night, Friday morning. This thing gets nasty on the on the HAFS-A model. Closed inner core, pressure 985, goes down to 960, 959. It doesn't, not too fast on this. Takes a little bit time, but the longer it takes, the more it might get to be more intense too. So let's go forward. This is Friday afternoon, 9:41. Winds at 134 knots. And 932, 927, 922 again. There it is, 914, 916 millibars. But I'm going to show you one other model. And I kid you not, probably the worst, the most bullish forecast I could ever even dream of. I could ever dream. So that there, and also, by the way, it does forecast an eyewall replacement cycle, which seems pretty fair deal, fair game. 920, and then once the eyewall replacement cycle completes, it drops back down to 915. By the way, those winds up there, 142 knots at the surface. Yeah, those are surface winds. 154 knots before the first eyewall replacement cycle. So in 4 days, this could become a Category 5 hurricane if you just look at this model. So yeah, this really, the HAFS-A and the HAFS-B have been like this. They have been like, I'm your friend. We're going to just glue this and we see it coming. Wow. It's one of those things, folks. It's a good thing that this is not hitting land. This is good because, man, if this was hitting land, wow, this would be so destructive. Absolutely destructive if it did. So the good thing is this is going to miss land. It's going to miss, and we'll see. We'll see in the next 10 days. Boy, this would be one of those most intense fish storms I could ever dream of. All right, so that's that. Let's look at the precipitation on this. Actually, oh yeah, there's only one ERC on this. So you can see the eye here. And right about in here, you can see a secondary eye wall encircling the inner eye on this model. And then, boom, there it goes. Eye wall replacement cycle completes and the thing re-intensifies on the other side. Are you all ready to see the HAFS-B run? Are you all ready for that? Let me know in the chat. Are you all ready for the HAFS-B? You know, and that's what I like about this. There's the first half, and then there's a second half. HAFS-A and HAFS-B. Watch this, ready, watch this, ready. I like the pattern. I like that pattern. Watch this, ready, yes, ready. Watch this. Yes. All right. Everyone's ready for this. Okay. Let's kind of go forward. This is the HAFS-A B, by the way. This is not the A. Let's bring this. Man, this thing is really, really conservative. This is really conservative. I mean, by... You know what? It does not even... What the heck? Dude, it doesn't even show this as deep as what the NHC even has. Man, okay, that's not a real... It's not reliable in the short term, but it's reliable in the near... or in the long term. Look how strong this gets. 914 millibars by Saturday night into Sunday. 910 millibars. 909 millibars. 906. Look at that. 906 millibars. Jeez almighty. That's almost day 5. And 912 millibars. Wow. Concentric eye walls trying to form on this. So it's late to start off, but when it catches up, it is going to go AWOL. Let's take a look now at the winds on the HAFS-A B run. And once this gets an inner core, it is going to go ballistic. 151 knots, 146, 142. It doesn't get very... 152 knots is the strongest this actually gets. So the most bullish is the HAFS-A run. Now, are you all ready to see the... Is this... Oh yeah, this is the run. Okay. Are you all ready to see the 12Z run? Just for reference. Just, I want to show something, not to scare you all, but just to show you how deep this actually was. All right, here we go. You're going to be like, oh my gosh. 897 millibars, and it's even on the top. 897 millibar system. And if that's not good enough, what about 163 knot winds? Yeah. I mean, this is absolutely ballistic. And actually, we click on the plot on this. This is one of the worst wind soundings I could ever imagine. Look at that. Look at all the barbs. I'm looking at them. Right? See if I can point. Right there. Man, that is very intense down there at 900 millibars. Very, very, very strong. I don't think this is not going to happen. I'll tell you that right now, because if it does... Wow, there's going to be many records broken. There's going to be many records. I'm just laughing at this when I see it because it is so crazy. It is just... Man, that is as bullish of a forecast as I have ever seen in my entire life. I've never seen anything like that. Yeah, that would be epic. Yeah, to see that in the Eastern Pacific and see this in the Atlantic. Yeah, but the good thing is it's not going to probably happen. Now, that was the 18Z run. We're waiting for the 12Z to come out, but or the 0Z. I'm not going to stay up until midnight for that. I do need to get some sleep because guess what time I woke up this morning, everyone? I want you all to guess at what time I woke up this morning to make my morning video. GFS is rendering. Ooh, let's see. You know what? Thank you for reminding me, Ross. I do appreciate that. I need to show you all the global models. I need to show you all that. First, the Euro. All right. Because, wait, no. I showed it in my video, but why? Yeah. We could show it. Heck with it. 5 a.m.? 2 a.m.? Nope. I woke up at 7:15 this morning because to time my upload with the NHC advisory. That's why I was uploading that video by 9:15 this morning, 9:30. And I know there's a small gap between the two videos. One of my co-partners wants me to make another video in the morning, which I think I will do, but I think the afternoon video will be, I don't know if I'll have an afternoon video. I'll have to see about that. Maybe I'll just stream. Well, no, wait, hold on. I have church tomorrow night, so I can't do a stream tomorrow. Never mind. Tomorrow, no streaming. I will stream Friday afternoon instead. So tomorrow will be the same thing like today, except no streaming. I will have a video out in the morning and in the afternoon, but the afternoon video will probably be moved over to about 5 o'clock instead of 4. So that way there's that gap in between uploads. All right, so enough with the scheduling there. Let's take a look here at the Euro. Some of you are probably wondering, how close does this get? Actually, I have another cool product. Wait, no, we need the Ensemble. That's the operational EPS. Here it is. This is what we want, the cloud of possibilities. And look at how this really diverges. I mean, look at that. That is a really big ellipse on the Euro Ensemble. Some of the members want this even further west, like really, like on top of the Bahamas, perhaps. Let's see if these get any closer to the US. And a lot of the members do not. None of the members actually do. But this is a huge cloud of possibilities right in here on the Ensemble Forecast. Okay, so I want to make that clear that there's a lot of uncertainty. Now, why is there a lot of uncertainty? You might be asking, like, David, why is there so much uncertainty? As you know, there is not, the models have a hard time basically resolving things on a finer scale. So if we look at, let me use the operational on this. So this is basically the operational model. And this is a look at the 500 millibar chart. For reference, I'm going to draw this out. This is North America right here. Okay. Right all in here. Here's Florida. There's the Eastern Seaboard. Lotta. There's the US. I know I'm not a good drawer. There's the Caribbean. Here's Bermuda right there. Okay, so you all can see that. So when we go forward, the problem here is that when does this turn occur? All right, because if we look at the Euro, okay, there is a trough that's digging into the Northeast, but there's also a second trough down here digging into the Midwest. It's all about the timing, okay? If this system moves faster, it might go further west before making the turn off towards the north. And it could clip the eastern seaboard. But if the system is slower, it might get here before the trough is able to scoop it. Or no, wait, the trough will come here before the system gets to where it should to turn north, which means a turn to the north sooner is also a possibility. So there's a lot of what ifs, okay, in the numerical computer guidance. A numerical model is not a forecast. It's just guidance, okay? So when we go forward in this, let me zoom in and look at actually, let me bring this. So when you see this, oh my gosh, it's moving north towards Maine, okay? Now, at this point in the modeling, it does move north towards Maine, but the weather pattern is always changing, and this trough is also evolving as this is trying to move north. So if this trough moves as this is trying to move north, you're actually going to get a motion that eventually will turn this out to sea versus in towards, say, New York. So this is very complicated, all right, and expect that to continue probably for a while. We're not going to see anything to get resolved on the numerical guidance probably for a couple more days. Maybe it can take 3 more days before we know exactly how close this gets to the eastern seaboard. Okay, there's Bermuda for reference. Now, just because it does not hit the eastern U.S., all right, and you all are like, phew, luckily it's not going to hit the eastern U.S., that's a good thing. What's not going to be a good thing at all is if this hits Bermuda. Someone's going to get impacted by this. All right, if this gets, say, right over here and goes up the eastern seaboard, you all over here in the northeast could get impacted. If this turns out to sea and hits this, the eastern portion of the storm could slam into Bermuda and could bring tropical storm or hurricane force winds. All I'm going to say is, even so this is going to be a fish storm, it is the center. All right? Impacts will spread well away from that. And I'll show you something else on that in a second. All right, so let's go over to the GFS, because this is rendering right now. Let's look at the 18Z run for reference. What do we have here? The Euro did not have this trough here very well. Actually, wait, hold on. It does, but it's a little faster. We look at the GFS on the 18Z run. The trough, actually, wait, hold on. Okay, see, this is already confusing me. So 180 hours out. Let's see. Okay, so the GFS has the storm faster on the 18Z run. All right. So the trough evolves pretty much the same way. But now you have a system over here instead of down here. Oh, wait, you all can't see that. For reference. Okay. So there's a lot of wiggle room here in the numerical model field of how this is going to all evolve. If this is too fast, before the trough gets where it is over Michigan, then this is likely to turn out to sea. But if this is moving faster to the west and it ends up over here, it could actually get closer to the eastern seaboard. Now, the chances of this hitting Florida, very, 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 very unlikely. I don't think Florida should be concerned about this. There's just, at least right now, nothing tells me that this is going to hit Florida. This is not going to hit Georgia, likely. The best chances, if there's a potential impacts, or at least maybe a near landfall, it's going to be somewhere up in this area, is where I think the chances will be existing. And it's on my thumbnail, too, with the question marks. That, again, could get close, but how close? I don't know. I don't know. And I'm going to say it in every one of my videos. And for those that are watching here, I really want you all to watch most of my videos. I know I don't say that very often, but some of you were asking me, is this going to hit the eastern U.S.? Well, I stated in the video about what the chances are of it hitting the eastern U.S., right? I know my videos are long, they're probably boring and everything else like that, but there's a lot of information to give out to you all about this system. All right, so another thing, wow, that looks organized already. That is Lee, that is. So let's talk about waves. I love this product. This is one of my favorite. So this is showing us how high the waves could actually become. Now I'm going to use the icon. Well, wait. Yeah, I'm going to use the Euro because Euro's pretty bullish too. Thank you. I know most of you are saying my videos are not boring, but there's those new viewers that are like, Is it gonna impact Florida? Is it gonna impact me in the Carolinas? Is it gonna impact New York City? The funny thing here is I clearly I answer all of your guys' questions in my videos. Okay? So just keep that in mind. It doesn't happen right away, but I get to those questions eventually. All right. So let's take a look at waves, because this is important for a lot of people that are out there doing any fishing, boating. If you're, man, I'm getting a lot of notifications. What is up with this? Oh boy. All right. Okay, nothing serious. That's a good thing. That's the good thing. Thought it was serious, getting all those notifications. Yeah, Fire Ant, if you're watching the stream, boy, you guys are going crazy in the live streaming team. All right, so looking at the waves, this is for Saturday. You can see the waves here. This is 8 feet. Now, some breakers could approach more than that, but there's going to be high surf out of this. This is Sunday afternoon. Waves, 8 feet, maybe 9 feet. But yeah, look at how far this swell gets. This is really far out. And this is assuming waves are 36 feet high. So you can see the swells that are going to be really big from this hurricane. And the swells continue to grow. Look at that. 39 feet, maybe 40 feet out of this. That is exceptional. The Turks and Caicos Islands could have surf up to about 12 or 13 feet. Now look at this. This is really high. 41 feet of surf around that hurricane. So, yeah, it's going to be water problems. If you are in Bermuda, you're going to start seeing that swell move in, emanating out from that. And it should get to the East Coast here probably by, say, Tuesday or Wednesday next week. And that could be really big. That could be a big deal right there. And yes, you don't need a major hurricane along the eastern seaboard to bring you high surf. That's 12 feet, 18 feet, 41 feet, 42 feet. Where's that? 42 feet. It's down here somewhere. 44 feet. Yeah, 44 feet of surf. And even 45 feet, perhaps. So, yeah, that's going to be a big problem when this hits Bermuda. The surf also potentially, while this is as far as it goes, could eventually impact New York City. So water issues like surf, maybe some coastal impacts with that. Even so, the center could avoid the eastern U.S. By the way, this would be a big, big system by all standards. In fact, if we look at the Euro, I like to look at 850 millibar winds. Look at the wind on that. That's a major hurricane still, if you look at 500 millibar winds. Very strong. Oh my, Ross, are you giving me a threatening warning? Are you serious? That doesn't sound good from what you're saying. That does not sound good. Oh, by the way, wind gusts on the Euro, 177 miles an hour. I hope you all know that. 182 mile an hour wind gusts on the Euro. 183 miles an hour on the Euro. So that would be very significant. Yeah, 183 mile an hour winds. All right, someone wanted me to look at the GFS. This is further west or further east. It's further east. You know what? I'm going to stay live while the GFS is rendering. How does that sound, everybody? Does that sound good? Does that sound like a good plan? At least until we get to 10 days. Because, you know, folks, anything beyond 10 days, throw out of the water. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. Oh, wait. This is 500 millibar geopotential height, isn't it? That is. Oh, gosh. 927? 927 millibars. That actually trended further north. That is really strong output, though. That's a Category 4 hurricane for sure. By the way, if you all are new and you're liking the stream, please consider subscribing, sharing this with your family and friends on social media. It does mean a lot. I want to congratulate and thank myself and also thank you all for getting me where we're at today. I'm actually very, very shocked at how much my channel has grown since early September. I mean, I'm really surprised. We're at 13.3K. Let's see if we can get to 13.4K before this stream actually ends. And I'll let you know where I'm at as far as subs go really quick. I'm at 13,344 subscribers. Now I'm at 13,351 subscribers. So, yeah, we're 50 away already from 13,400. What were you at a month ago? Where was I a month ago with my sub number? I don't want to get into sub talk right now, really. Oh, that's not going to work. While we're waiting for the GFS, someone was asking again, where was I a month ago? Let's take a look. Man, I'm already at 362. Thank you all for subscribing. It means a lot. Now, I want to do a disclosure before I close this out in about maybe 15 or 30 minutes. So where was I a month ago? I was at 8,870 subscribers. And actually, on September 1st, I was at 11,235. And now I'm really close to 14,000 subscribers. All thanks to your guys' awesome, pleasuring support for what I do. So this is stronger, but also further to the east. So there has been a trend. Actually, there's been a trend to a slower storm. Very interesting. We'll see if this actually gets slower in more future model runs. But right now, 938 millibars is where we're at. Oh, this is taking a little westward jog. Oh, cool. I love that. Not. Man, that is actually, but it's still further east, which is good. And that is a very big storm, though. That really expands its wind field. You could really see the expansion of that humongous wind field. Man, this could be a big problem if that ridge is able to build. Yeah, there's a little bit of a ridge that builds here. So we'll see how that influences if this is actually able to turn a little more west. 6Z model incoming? No, this is the 0Z model. So while we're waiting, I want to, do you all Do you all want to hear my disclaimer? Because some of you were probably wondering about that. Yes, let's hear it. All right, so the big disclaimer, and again, I'm not trying to complain, of course. I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy. But I want to kind of go through my channel really quickly here. I know it's not part of the live stream, but I wanted to show you all in regards to my thumbnails, all right? So, as you know, some of you, not all of you, just a few of you are saying, oh, this is clickbait. Don't watch this guy. Just do not watch him because it's clickbait. For one thing, some of you are probably seeing clickbait very differently. There's different clickbaits, good and bad. This is good clickbait because it does tell the story of what might happen. First of all, we're expecting what? A category 4. Secondly, watch the video and see what you think. That's what I tell everybody. Watch the video and just don't look at the thumbnail and the title. If you like the thumbnail and how it looks, click on the video and watch it and let me know what you think afterwards. Like, oh, this is not clickbait. Because I will tell you what clickbait is. How I see it as, let's just say, and Fancy told me this today, is that, David, this would be clickbait, okay? Put a category 10 hurricane on your thumbnail and have it hit New York City, when in reality it's not going to happen. That's clickbait. All right. There's different clickbaits. All right. I mean, the whole weather community does it anyways. I mean, name down many people in the chat. All right. Name down a lot in the chat who clickbaits in the weather community on YouTube. I'm sure you're going to name a lot more people than just me. All right. And by the way, I am using Photoshop for this, which is not free a month. So, you know, I try my best. It's an artwork. And you know what? How I see it as, it's an art. It's an artwork of luck is what it is. Definitely not WP. Exactly. Exactly. You got to look at this. Look at all the YouTubers. Actually, you know what? While we are waiting for this model run to render a little longer, I want you all to do me a favor in the chat, because I know we have a lot of people watching. I want you to do me a favor. Look up all the weather channels that you know of and let me know what you think after looking at them. Like, David's actually better than those, or David's about as good as those, or so and so. Because I'll tell you what, I know my boundaries. I know my boundaries. I know what is bad and what is good. Okay? I know what is right and what is wrong. Yes, my text is big, but that's what I always wanted it to be, because I can squish it in and kind of lay it out. I like Photoshop in that way too, because you could actually lay things out a little bit better, which is why Photoshop is like $25 a month. Actually, wait, no, it's like $20 or $25 a month. So, I made a decision, and I talked to Fancy Hippie about it, that the style of my thumbnails are not changing. Okay, I was gonna give up on it, but Fancy Hippie told me that, David, no, you should continue it. This is you know what your viewers like. So I'm not gonna stop doing what I love best. All right. I'm going to get those people, but tell them, actually, you know what? I want you all to do me a huge favor. This is your homework for the next probably month. If you see anyone saying, David, or saying, dude, this guy has clickbaity thumbnails, cover my back and reply to them and says, dude, you don't know what clickbait actually is. Because, I mean, look at, I'm gonna basically call out a very popular YouTuber. I mean, he is the most popular YouTuber, or the second most popular. Maybe the second is Mr. Beast. I love his channel. I love watching his channel. And guess what? Those thumbnails are clickbait, but it describes what the video is about. See? It all makes sense. Some people don't do it, but some people do. And unfortunately, that's just how YouTube actually is. YouTube is just full of that. And actually, it does state in their terms of service that as long as it's not misrepresenting what the video is about, it technically doesn't go under a rule breaking of or violating their terms of service as far as thumbnails go. You have to improve on the thumbnails, and I told you that at the beginning of the live or the video or the channel that there's going to be improvements on the thumbnails. That's how you grow. That's essentially how the channel succeeds and grows, is by making good intricate thumbnails. Think of a thumbnail as like a painting. If you see a dirty painting that's disgusting and it doesn't look good, would you buy that picture? Probably not. But if you saw a good picture that someone painted and they took a lot of time of making, you'd be like, man, I really like that picture frame. I'm going to buy it from you. So I hope you all understand. I'm hoping that there's a lot of people here watching and understand that too. So at least this could get spread around around the weather community. Because I'll tell you what, right now, I am not one of those people that will just like clickbait the bejesus out of the weather community. Be like, Cat 6, here we come, or whatever. I'm going to look at it as it really should be. And by the way, who in this chat uses Photoshop? I want to hear your guys' opinion, answers. By the way, Lee is definitely getting organized, looking a little bit more healthier. Looks like we got a little bit of an eye trying to form. Pat's Path said sometimes. Is that an eye? It looks to be Pat, not me, since yesterday. And by the way, with my US forecasts as well, I will be using this this style, okay? This style that I have that you're seeing is not going to change. It's going to stay on the channel. This is not just for a hurricane, this is actually for everything. And you can see it right here. This is mine that I made today by just using Photoshop. Rarely do I actually disclose on what I use to make thumbnails, but this is what I do. Yeah. Have you looked at the storm coming right behind? Let me see. Let me see. While we're here live streaming, can you all point? I know what I'm looking at. I know where it is, but I want to see if you guys know. Someone said there's something more coming behind this tropical system, but I want to see if you guys could find it. I want to give you guys some homework. Oh, well, a little lesson. If you guys can find it on the map. You know what to look for. It's in the Caribbean. It's where Lee is right now. Right there. It is now on top. Or the Caribbean. That's in the Sahara. East mode on the... Ah, a lot of you got it correct. You guys been doing your homework. Right there is our next enemy. Now, there's been some mixed signals on this, of this developing, but we will have to ignore this. Yeah, this is going to be a much lower latitude storm based on what it looks like. We got this ridge that builds in. So this one might be one of our next ones right here. And also, does this kind of ring something to you? There are eyes. We have two eyes. We have a nose. All we're missing is a mouth. And look at, you can draw a mouth. In this case, we're just going to draw that. You guys are laughing at me. You guys are laughing at me. I love you guys. I love you. I love you guys so much. I'm just telling you, the reason why this is happening is because of Rainbow Obsidian. She's creating all these storms on the GFS model. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Maybe it's a Lego train's fault. It's the train of hurricanes. Maybe he created a set of hurricanes and he put them into the models. No, I'm just kidding. The mouth is the ridge. Really? Let's see. Well, no, that would be the no. That would be the nose. Nah. That would, the mouth would, I would have to make that up. The mouth would be over here. I think we can get something on the Euro. Oh, well, here's another one. Let's look at the Canadian. There's a little bit better representation. There's the two eyes. There's the nose. And here looks to be the mouth that's kind of dug down there in the deep tropics. Look at satellite imagery on Lee. Yeah, I know, John, there's an eye forming. It's the John 54-2E storm. You all, this is John 54-2E trying to explosively intensify right now. Yelling at us. It's disoriented. Yeah, it is. One thing that's not disoriented is this hurricane right here. That's very strong. That is very intense, boy. Jova, Jova, Jova. Yeah, Hurricane Jova, that system is, I mean, I don't rarely call hurricanes cute, but this one, it's so small. The eye is so tiny. That eye is like about 7 or 8 miles in diameter. It is so tiny. You know what? I want to measure that. How big is that eye right now? Dang, that is a tiny eye. While we're waiting. 81 nautical miles. Actually, that's not a very tiny CDO, but that's fairly average. That eye is that's tiny. Only 7 nautical miles or 7 miles across that eye is. So, by the way, we are literally 20 subs away from 13,400. 13,400. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate this. I will have more updates on this tomorrow morning and, of course, tomorrow afternoon. And that will be out by about 4:30 to 5 o'clock. Show us a new GFS? Sure. Oh, no, this is not looking good. This is gonna... Man, this is going to be interesting. This is the Bermuda Triangle. It is almost encircling Bermuda. One for the interesting facts. Bermuda Triangle, 2 eyes we saw, and a nose, and maybe a mouth. Well, no, 2 eyes, like 2 dark spots. Oh, shoot. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that is really organizing on the GFS. We could only do 1 storm at a time, but I am going to have to watch this next wave coming off of Africa then. Man, the tropics are just so active. This is ridiculous. This is just immense. I blame aliens. Oh my gosh. You're funny. Jova, 5 a.m. advisory. So you're saying to make a video on the 5 a.m. advisory on Jova? It's very early for me to get up. I gotta get some shut-eye, folks. Oh yeah! Case McLean, thank you for reminding me. I do appreciate that. Sorry if that was loud. So, about me flying into Hurricane Lee, some of you were asking about, well, only one of you were asking. I am planning to do that on Friday because I want this hurricane to get super strong because, again, everything in Flight Simulator is based on a weather model or the initial conditions, and sometimes it doesn't catch up quick enough. So I'm going to wait until at least Friday. Now, I don't know how it's going to look on Flight Simulator, but if it doesn't look good enough, I might wait until Sunday because Sunday it is probably going to be a Cat 5, a Category 5. Oh, shoot. Dude, we have a hurricane in the making on the GFS. We have a hurricane in the making on the GFS. Another one. Man, this is just going to be hurricane frenzy in the Atlantic. We saw it coming, though. We saw it coming. It looks like, though, this is going to turn right towards the northern Leeward Islands. I'm waiting for the model to finish rendering, though. That one is Bahama one. Not again? Yeah, not again. I'm hoping not again. We'll see. And this is a very bullish run, though. And that's at 994 millibars. So there's Lee up there. Can someone tell me Maggot? Something like that. That would be what this one is up here. Man, that's going to be a hard name to say. And then this up down here will be ABCDFG, element. And it'll be Nana, or no, wait. Nana something. Or maybe not Nana. Margot. It's going to be Margot. Okay. Margot. See? Okay. Thanks for correcting me. Oh my goodness. This is 987 millibars. That's going to be that's a hurricane. That's a hurricane on the GFS. We're not done. We're not done. Well, again, very far out in time, so I don't trust things this far out. Shoot, you know what? That's going to hit the islands. That's going to hit the islands head on. What's up, Ethan B? Doing a special live stream? Hey, if you want to join in and say hello to people, that you're more than happy to. Just let me know. What is a top right storm? That is going to be our letter N storm. Actually, let me look up what that is going to be. I can't keep track of cyclone names all the time. So that will be Nigel. Yeah, Nigel. I think it's called Nigel. This is Margot, Lee, Margot, Nigel. And then, yeah. Then I think, wait, we're on Lee, 3 more. Wait, yeah. We'll be on our letter N storm if the GFS comes correct. Oh, no, never mind. This is going to turn north. Interestingly enough. So that is 978 millibars. But again, please take this with a grain of salt, everyone. We're acting like it's actually going to happen. We just don't know yet. Let's see, though, the eastern seaboard, where that's going to go. That's going to hit Nova Scotia. So Lee is going to hit Nova Scotia. There's Margot if it develops. And here's Nigel down here. Ethan in the house. Yup. Ethan, Lethan. Watch the Gulf, someone is saying. I'm not too worried about the Gulf unless, let me see the 18Z run. No, I'm not too worried about the Gulf right now. Unless you look at the Canadian model. Yeah, the 12Z run had something spinning up, but gosh, that's far out in time. Nigel. Okay, it's called Nigel. Nigel. Okay, I got it right. Nigel. See, I use the G word. G sounds like gull. So Nigel. So we'll have Lee that's going on. Margot. Then Nigel. In the letter N alphabet. My goodness. We're halfway through the alphabet on the GFS. If that comes true. Jeez Louise. Big ace producing storms too. We're going to make up a lot of ace points off of this. Actually, let me look at the ace so far. By the way, here's a link to cyclone.com. So here it is. By the way, here's all the names that we have had so far. There's Category 4 Franklin. We all remember there's Adelia that we had. And here is... That's weird. Okay, we don't have Lee on there yet. But 13 named storms, 4 hurricanes, 2 major hurricanes so far we have had. And 58.06 on the ACE score. Okay, here we go. So our ace is, we're in 23rd place right here. So we're in the ballpark still of a very busy season. Look at, we're just ahead of 2019. And you know, that season ended up with 132 on the ace points. But look at down here. 181 ace points. So we're even busier than 1998. Yeah, we're busier than 1998. Cayman Lake, confused. Okay, so what we talked about, Daha, is we talked about Hurricane Lee. This is 80 miles an hour with winds, and it is moving off towards the west-northwest at 14 miles an hour. All right, so you're interested, Ethan, of joining the live stream? Oh, you can at the moment. Okay, that's fine. At least you're in the chat, interacting with us. So, yeah, Major Hurricane Lee, potential a Category 5. That's what we talked about. And there are impacts still to the Leeward Islands. No, the center is not moving on to the Leeward Islands. But also, there will be impacts too. Yeah, impacts sadly go well away from the storm. And it's just not inside the storm you get the impacts. That's why the NHC still has that non-zero chance for tropical storm force winds to be sustained. That's 39 miles an hour or greater for Puerto Rico, for the Dominican Republic, and also for the Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands, UK, or wait, US Virgin Islands, including for the Butterfly Island, Guadeloupe, that is. But a good thing is it's not hitting land as of this run from the GFS. Well, eventually it will, but it will be in Nova Scotia, perhaps by the 17th of December. So this has another just over 10 days left to get organized. By the way, we have a 966 millibar system in the central Atlantic. Well, not in the central, but coming out of the main development region. So some of you were also wondering about my winter forecast. How is that going to come by? Well, if we have this much activity, we're probably going to have to boot that out a little longer. So it may not be until late September before we get, or before we're able to do any winter forecast. But who wants to see the quick preliminary show off of my winter forecast? Who wants to see it? But still watch my video. Still watch my video. Because I'm only showing one map. There's a lot. I'm putting together probably a 15 to 20 minute video on it. Let's go. All right. You guys are special. And that's why I am showing you my winter forecast. Oh, wait. That's not the one. Hold on. No, that's not. This is the one. This is a cover, by the way. That's what I'm thinking might happen this winter. Oops. Let me go to full screen. Right there. I know we're talking about the tropics, but wait until we're waiting for the GFS to finish rendering. Oh, wait. No, this is not the one, is it? Hold on. Shoot. False alarm. Crap. Did I even... Oh, wait. Is this the one? Shoot. Where are my textures? I thought I had my textures on there. I don't have my textures. That's very unfortunate. I thought I made my textures and I put them on the map. That is really upsetting. I guess that's going to do. That's going to be fine. Leaking all the maps? No, this is a preliminary. You know what? I hope I have it in Photoshop. I think I still do. Oh, yeah. I didn't finish working on it. That's what it was. But I will show it to you very quickly. It's my updated one. Okay, so Disturbance 3 doesn't look to be a problem right now, but who knows? Who knows? We just don't know. All right, here it is. Here is my... Here it is. This is the updated one. I know it's really hard to see. I'm going to zoom in. But that's the updated version. It's kind of the same, though, but I did make some changes. This is that El Nino forecast. No, it's not part of my El Nino forecast. It's actually part of my upcoming winter forecast. This is going to be the second one that I'll be releasing, but I'm waiting for the tropics to shut up. The tropics are just too busy right now. But then We'll get to it. Do you base everything from the models? It's unreliable up to 7 days. Greg D4, if you're referring to my winter forecast, the forecast that I look at, I'm basing it off of a lot of climatology, analogs, and everything like that. But that's a look at that forecast. What do you all think about it? How do you all like it so far? I'm still getting some work done on it. That's not the finishing touch yet. And trust me, you know how long that map took me to make? Guess how long it took me to make that map. That one map. Only one map. The Eye of Lee is popping. Oh boy, yes, I do see that. And that's actually going north-northwest. It took 3 hours, 2 days. I like it. Some of you are right. Some of you, or a few of you, are wrong. It took me 6 hours to make that map. 6 to 7 hours to make that map. Because I had to layer things. I had to add textures onto it. The textures that I have there, you know, I had to overlay those. What happened to the deep convection? There's still deep convection, John, on this. Use AI, work smarter. Well, I'm getting the hang of Photoshop. I'm guessing Magic Moon, you use Photoshop. If you do you have Discord by any chance? If you have Discord, then maybe you could friend me and maybe you can show me how to get the hang of Photoshop. I'm learning slowly but surely. But this is a look at Lee. Lee Gee, Lee C. Oh my gosh, GFS, what the heck are you on? 950 millibars? Wow, luckily that is also going northwest. True, Greg D54, I do agree with you on that. Yeah, we don't know where this is exactly headed until they can see it, send G4 aircraft out there. Hopefully the G4 upper level drop zone could resolve things really well. Can I come on? I'm going to end this stream here in like 10 minutes, Pat. Maybe, what about when I do my flight sim live stream? How about that? You can come on then on Friday. Because once this model is done, I'm probably going to head out. The NHC is sending reconnaissance flight into the storm Saturday morning. What? Saturday morning now? No, that's not correct. It's going to be sooner than that. Excuse me. Outlook for succeeding... Wait. Hold on. Begin 6-hourly fixes on Storm Lee on the 7th. On the 7th of September. That's today. 2330Z. That's going to be today. I'll do a fly-in with you. Okay. I'll have to see. Hopefully, the flight sim weather modeling is very accurate. We'll see about that. And then that's today's outlook. Tomorrow's outlook, it really gets going on. Oh, wait. Yeah, so they're going to start tomorrow, but they're also going to fly into the storm. Greg D, if you're still here, maybe you could help clear my confusion up. But this starts... Oh, maybe they're not going to do it until the next day? I think that's what they mean here. Okay, yeah, they're going to be in the storm 0Z September 8th, which is 5 o'clock on... That's going to be tomorrow night. That's going to be Thursday. Because the 8th 0Z is on Thursday at 5 p.m. That's 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's tomorrow. That is actually today for some of you in the East Coast. And then they're going to do another flight. Oh, the teal. So they're going to do 2 planes in there. So they're going to send 2 planes out there into the system. And they're going to do 2 in the morning. That's what it looks like. David, Thursday is... Yeah, I know. Thursday is the 7th. That is tomorrow for me. And that's what this says here. 0Z on the 8th. That's this right here. Right here, see? 0Z is Friday in Greenwich Mean Time. Oh my gosh, GFS! 937 millibars. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's too far out. It's way too far out. But I wasn't thinking about the time zone. Okay. Well, here's a good fun fact, Greg D. 0Z, all right, 0Z, any time at 0Z is 5 o'clock Pacific time, and it's 8 o'clock Eastern time. The day before, so 0Z on the 8th is 5 o'clock, okay, Pacific time on the 7th of September. All right. So in other words, so that would be midnight. So that would be midnight there. So that would be subtract 7 hours from here. Wait. 7. Wait. Yeah. So 4 hours, you're going to subtract 4 hours if you're in Eastern time, and you're going to subtract 8 hours from 0Z if you're in Pacific time. And there's your answer. All right, so any questions about Lee? Anything? Questions about Lee? I'm going to be here for a little bit longer because I want to see what the GFS looks like. We did it! We hit 13,405 subs. Thank you all. I love you guys. I really do. Man, I gained 500 subscribers today. I'm at 13,407. Man, that is a powerful hurricane on the GFS. So we ain't done. Some models have it curving down towards Chile. Chile is really far south. I mean, it's not even on the map. Sorry if the clap hurt your ears. Is it really that loud? Kind of is, actually. I know, people. I know it's far out. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm not dumb. I am not dumb. I know what I'm looking at, but, you know, when you see these things, then you gotta start watching, because guess what? That wave does come off of Africa in about 4 days. See, you can see it. Actually, you know what? Want to make a bet? It's this wave right here. It's right here, I bet. That's where the tropical wave could actually be. It's going to be busy. I'm very sure about it. Wow, we have definitely an eye on Lee already. We definitely have an eye on Lee. Dang, 935 millibars. I know, again, folks, this is really far out in time. Again, it's dumb for me to base it off of one run. But we shall wait. We shall watch. Because this is day 4 right here. This is day 5 right here. Day 6 right here. Day 7 right here. So we really got to watch this one. If it develops, you never know. You never know. But you can see it right there, dipping south and then going north once it intensifies. And you can get the idea where it's moving. So day 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a what if it does happen, then we gotta watch it, like anything else. Man, the Atlantic, I don't know what has happened since mid-August. Hurricane Lee going to David's house in a revenge plot by Pat's Path Predictor. You're funny. The greatest... At the greatest catch. Oh, you're probably replying to him. All right. I don't like going that far out. I really don't like it, but you have to look at trends. You have to look far out in time, especially when you look at the Climate Prediction Center. I want to just kind of make this clear with you all that if we look at the CPC, I mean, let's zoom out. They are calling for a moderate chance for tropical development through this 26th of September. Like the next 2 weeks, or the next 3 weeks, we are going to be watching the tropics. I mean, I don't say these things to wish things. I mean, I'm going to say it how I see it. And the model is telling me that, hey, we got a tropical system here that might form. And that moves off of Africa in 4 days. So, I mean, it's not like it's not going to happen. I mean, it's likely not, but it's also, there's a chance. And that's why we have to watch the main development region. Because anything, these things could spin up in a hurry. I mean, a good history of this is looking at Lee. looking at Lee. Remember when Lee came off the coast? This right here, my friends, if I can find the right, there we go. This right here, my friends, is Lee. That's our 192 originally. And we thought, oh, it's going to go out there. But remember, that moved off of Africa in about 5 days at that point. And look what happened. We got Lee today. That is right over here. So, what I'm just saying is, we cannot ignore these things. We just can't. Any little bit of spin like this could really, it can just spin up very quickly in very little notice. So we just don't know. We just don't know how strong it's going to get because it is far out. I'll keep an eye on Lee. Yes, we will definitely keep an eye on Lee. Only one storm at a time. That's the whole point of this live stream, first of all, is to watch Lee. One storm. But then after that storm leaves, we will then have to watch what comes next. Because I know I have a bad feeling about this. I don't think we're going to be done yet. We are in the peak of the hurricane season. In fact, the peak of the hurricane season actually is on Sunday next week. That's climatological, the peak of the season. And to make sure I got that right, let me go over to climatology. It is the peak. Yeah, it is the 10th. The 10th of September is the peak. Climatology. So we have our eyes on the tropics. And even so, once we get after climatology, you all think that, oh, we're behind it. It's all behind us. Nothing to worry about. This box that I'm about to draw up, from right about in here, can be really busy. And there are some times that even out to here through late October can be very busy. So, yeah, September, we saw this coming, folks. We saw it. It's going to be busy. It's not like, oh, man, I'm surprised it's busy. No, I saw this coming since like July. Even late June, I even saw this coming. Dr. Philip Klocksbog. People think that I don't follow these people on Twitter. I follow Phil Klocksbog, Ben Knoll, Mark Seth, Eric Webb on Twitter. So, yeah, I got my eyes on social media. I'm going to be generous at first with my first initial Atlantic hurricane season forecast until I get more data in. But I'm now seeing where this could end up going, and it could end up really, really busy. Really busy. Oh yeah, Mark Sedeth, really cool guy. I love his analogies. I just love his analogies so much. What's up, Multi-Relic? I just like how he says, I just want to make sure I'm seeing things right. That is 30 Celsius off the coast of the Carolinas. And I just like how he says, boy, if we get a tropical storm that moves into the Gulf of Mexico, it could blow up very quickly. I just like how he iterates on things. I just love that guy so much. I just like how he kind of hypes up stuff when it really needs to be hyped up. Like, I know the guy for a while. I mean, I've been following him since 2017 on YouTube. And boy, that guy, it takes a lot for him to get concerned. And when he gets concerned, you know business. You know what's coming. I wish I could do what he does. I wish I could chase hurricanes, collect weather data, get cameras out there. Which, in fact, since I have a car, well, not my own car, but I can drive, If we get a storm this winter, I might do something similar to with what he does just locally around here. Might do a live stream of one of our storms that we get here. That's why I'm hoping we get a big stormy season. I have hopes this winter that we're going to have a lot of big storms, atmospheric rivers. Yes, if you watch me from California, like you did with Hillary, you got front row seats. You're sitting right in, you're just waiting for my California, the West Coast to come out. I know, excuse me. Also, I do apologize if I haven't done any U.S. weather forecasts. I feel terrible that it's caught up to me right now that, man, I haven't done a U.S. forecast in over a few weeks, but boy, the tropics are right. I'm just glued to the tropics. And this is how it always is until like mid-October. Once I get past mid-October, then I start transitioning into the U.S. So you're going to notice that transition. You're going to notice more of those U.S. weather updates. Oh, don't you dare get me started with that, John. Don't you even dare, my guy. By the way, everybody, this is John 54-2E Hurricane. He's trying to get better organized. Aren't you, buddy? And boy, John is trying to intensify. Oh, by the way, we did have a Hurricane John, didn't we? Hurricane John. Boy, it's trending on internet. It's Jova. Yeah, Hurricane John. Dang, that was a Cat 5 in the Central Pacific in 1994. And that's how John was. You had a good eye. Oh, shoot. Look at all that lightning going on. Lots of lightning going on with Jova right now. Jeez. All those sparks that you see are all lightning. Man, Jova is intense. Boy, that sucker. Man, that is just explosive. I know Jova is not hitting anyone, but it's cool to see how these systems work. That's how I roll. I just like how heat energy is transferred and how it's used up through a system, you know? Jova is very mad. I think it may even get 180 miles an hour. It could. Man, that's a tiny system, though. I can just cannot stop looking at that. I just can't. That is so small. And actually, we can play this through so you all can see it. You can actually see the eye in there. Ever had a Hurricane Chad? I think so, yeah. What's it measuring? What is it measuring right now? I will take a look at this in just a second, but look at that eye. You could even look in it. Look at that. Wow. That's probably what Lee is going to look like. We're going to have another one of these whirlpools. And the reason why I call it a whirlpool is the way it looks. And doesn't it look like a whirlpool, everybody? I want you all to let me know in the chat. Doesn't it look like a whirlpool? Yes, it does, doesn't it? That's what... Okay, so as long as hurricanes are out in the water, I just like seeing them from satellite. I just like seeing that whirlpool effect. But boy, it would not be pretty. It would be terrible if this did hit land. What are the odds Lee hits Florida? Literally a 1% chance. But yeah, that's a look at Jova right now. What a pretty looking miniature type Cat 5 hurricane. I wonder what it would be like to be in that hurricane. It's so compact. It's probably very, very, it's like a tornado inside. And here it is. Here is Lee. Why is the eye so small? It's a lot of because of the centrifugal force, and it's because it's so compact. It's going into a more stable environment, so the eye is also going to be very small to begin with. However, when an eye wall replacement cycle happens, the eye could actually get bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh, you sent something in Discord? Let's see what you sent. That is actually pretty cool. I like that. All right, should I rarely show this in stream? But this came from Air Force, Aeroforce TSC, and this is basically with what he thinks how strong this hurricane could become. There's the ensembles. And even this guy here is indicating that it's going to likely miss land. Except your red area says very likely. You're very likely thinking that it's going to hit New York. Probably not the best idea, buddy. Probably not the best idea. Well, that's one ensemble forecast. Okay. All right. Let's see. I don't think we have much more to cover. I don't think we do at the moment. Any more questions, you guys? 3D models, please. Wait, 3D models. Do you mean this? Oh, sure. Let's take a look at this. Before I go, I'll be on for a little bit more showing you all this. But yeah, this is the 3D that they provide. I guess it's okay. I want to see what actually Jova looks like. Oh, wow. This actually looks really cool. Jeez. Look at the eye in there. Dang. Wow, that actually is really neat. Measure the eye. I will measure the eye in just a second. This is actually really neat. I can't believe a Jova's a Cat 5. Me too. I just can't believe how strong it is. And it shows you the unexpected. It shows you just how unexpected the weather is. You need to use this more often. Yeah, I will probably end up doing that in my live streams. Yeah, look at that. That is a very cool looking eye. You could even go in it. Look at this. You could even go in the eye. Oh, and look, if we scroll down, We look in it. Look, it looks like a tornado. I know it's hard to tell, but it looks like a tornado. Yeah, if this is super cool, folks, hit the subscribe button, because we will be probably using this a lot more. I did use this for Adelia when it made landfall in Florida. I use this kind of off and on. By the way, this is actually $11.99 a month, I believe, for the Alpha subscription, which you get everything. You get actually hurricane models. And I wish they would give us the HAFS-A and HAFS-B. But even this, you could actually go in 3D too with it. Here's the winds. Oops. Can we? Oh, we can't. There we go. 3D. Here's the wind forecast. And oh, the 0Z is coming out. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm staying live. I'm staying live on this. Okay, the 0Z hurricane models are rendering. I did not know that. See how strong this is. Yeah, that's a look at it right there. Oh my gosh. 140-mile-an-hour winds on this. 140 is the forecast. Crapola, that's strong. That is very, very strong. 143. 143 still. $144. And that is very strong. See the pressure. 933 millibars is the lowest. This is still rendering though. So we're going to see. Jova is only 20 miles per hour faster. Jova. Let me see Jova really quick. Is it even gonna work? Oh, shoot. Okay, oh yeah, this is significant. Oh my gosh. 156 miles an hour on this. Dang, that is strong as heck. I think it realizes that it is much stronger than what it showed. Yeah, 156, 160. I'm not surprised by that. See what the HMON is showing on Jova. Oh, even stronger. Look at that. Oh, wait, no. It's not stronger. 131. Why is that one? That's funny that it would show that. So let's go all the way out to the latest frame. Okay, why is it... There we go. All right. It's a little bit better. So yeah, Jova still expected to be still remain a very powerful hurricane. Down to 932 on the HMON. But we're not going there. Let's take a look at our latest HAFS-A B run. Because that is the furthest out from right now. Gosh, I managed to encircle all the models in tonight's update. Up, it's 1 millibar stronger, and this is further south, everyone. This is further south. This is further south. HAFS-A B has this further south. 930 millibars. It's definitely stronger than that. Oh, yeah. You all here? Up late? Yep, I'm up late, Lori. But I will be going to bed once this is done rendering. I promise, folks, I will let you sleep. But it ends up being that the hurricane models are out. They're coming out right now. What flight simulator do I use? What flight simulator do I use, Corley? I use Microsoft Flight Simulator 2023. With all their updates, I just stick to the current year. HAFS-A, let's look at the HAFS-A. Interesting, not as strong, but further to the west. Wow, all the models shifted south on this. All the models shifted south. HMON. All the models have downtrended on the 0Z output. Interesting, because the HMON wants this a Cat 5 and 84 hours out. Well, of course it hasn't rendered that far out yet, so we'll see. Oh. Are you all ready for this? It's gonna get interesting. 930 millibars. Lava Command, it's probably, I don't know what it could be. The halves model is really bullish. This is the most bullish run. It's down by 4 millibars. It's down by 4 millibars. So the HAFS-A B is more aggressive. What's up, Tyler? What's up, brother, Tyler? Do you hear we might have a Cat 5 hurricane on the NHC? There's the center right there. So this is forming a pretty good eye wall. Let me see if I can get microwave imagery on this really quickly. Did we get any more microwave imagery? Oh, we had a GMI pass. Hopefully that's helpful. Come on, let's load. Load. Come on. Nope, nothing on that. I don't think we got any new updates. This is the microwave. Yeah, we don't have any microwave pass, so we don't have any surface data yet. Actually, if I go to the CIMSS microwave, don't, what in the heck? There we go. That's what I wanted. See what we got here. It's trying. It's trying hard. Yeah, it is really, it's trying to organize. Definitely, you can tell. We will just have to wait and see. 918 millibars. Not as low as the last model run. But that is really low still. That is really low. Yeah, 918 millibars. We're getting, it's not as low, but it's still low. I wish there were live streams like this every night. Me too, Chase. I'll be honest, I don't mind streaming severe weather though. But if I have to do it every single day, like, you know, I get tired easy. But I am really pumped about this hurricane. I really am. I really am. And that's why I'm doing these updates. Are we stronger on this run? No, we're not. We are weaker. HWARF? Let's see the HWARF. Oh, still rendering. Lower pressure on that. We did the HMON. We'll do the HAFS-A B again, see if that has updated it anymore. Not anymore. 175? Oh, shoot. That's what Justin Wilson is saying. That's a Cat 5 for sure. That is straight Cat 5 intensity. Wow, that's very strong. That is, yeah. It doesn't surprise me, though. It really doesn't. Definitely deep convection popping up to the north. Why does it always like when I have to look at good old Jova? I want to look at... There we go. So yeah, there's a deep convection that's blowing up on this. You can see it. How's everybody liking the stream so far? Justin Wilson. Let's see. I know you all are calling this a Cat 5, and I really think it might come close. It's going to be close. However, given what we saw with Jova, anything is possible. Thank you. Yeah, if you all are enjoying the live stream, please consider sharing this with your family and friends on social media. I will have another update in the morning. Probably have that out by at least 9 or 9:30, just like we did today. And then I will have another video out tomorrow afternoon on this system. As long as this remains an imminent threat until we can get more consistency and we're sure it's not going to hit land, I will be making videos on this very frequently. I'm not going to be able to make a video Saturday morning. Maybe I will. Saturday afternoon for sure I will be able to, though. But this is a look at the 3D imagery on Lee. And yeah, this thing is really intense. It's trying to. In the last few frames, you can see the deep convection right there blow up. You can see it. That looks so cool, though. It's like waves. Is there a 2 a.m. advisory? Is there a 2 a.m. advisory? I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna do a 2 a.m. advisory. Nope. Like 11? There might be, but I doubt it. I don't think there will be. Let me check their public advisory, though. No, next complete advisory is scheduled for 5 a.m. So no, there won't be a 2 a.m. advisory. Sorry. That's just the NHC. 912 millibars. Only a millibar stronger, but the wind is more stronger. Geez, this is really, really, really strong. Oh boy, 940, 145 knots on the HAFS-A model. So these two models, maybe a third one. Man, the HMON not calling that to become a Category 5. But pressures are down. Not as low as the last model run. But that is a very strong system. Gosh. That is very strong. I'm not great with knots, so I will average this all out. So let's do this. So knots to miles per hour, so about 155 knots, we'll round it up to about 178 miles an hour. This could have 178 mile an hour winds. Which is very, very destructive, by all means. And it's concerning. There's the islands right there. There is your leeward, some of your leewards. There's an island there. If you look closely, you can see some of the islands right there. Before, we have not seen those islands in a couple of the frames. This is trending further south again. How is it dangerous? Well, it's a category 4. It could be, or likely will become a category 4. Maybe a category 5. And even if it's over water, it's still dangerous. I said before, but I have so much to do tomorrow. Well, later this morning, I'm kind of sleepless. I'll see you tomorrow, Greg, on YouTube. I'll have 2 videos out. 2 videos. Spaghetti plot? Sure. Let me show you the spaghetti plot. There it is. The intensity forecast. Really interesting to see, though, that this has a later intensity, the HAFS-B run, but it's the most intense. So therefore, I would not be surprised if this levels off, or if this intensifies to something like this, way up here, and then drop. $908 millibars. Oh my goodness. 908 millibars. That's a millibar deeper, and the winds are stronger. 908 millibars. How about spaghetti models? I guess we'll use Tropical Tidbits because they have a more extensive look at this. There's your spaghetti plot. Spaghetti. Yum. What is this model doing over here? If you look at that closely, it's on steroids. But yeah, look at this. These 2 models over here are closest to the islands. So we'll see how that goes over the next mini model runs. That would be bad. But yeah, that's a look at the spaghetti plot. And here's a look at the intensity plot more extensively. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 model runs that call this to become a Cat 5. Certainly up here in the Cat 4 category. So definitely a major hurricane. If you don't forecast a major hurricane at this point, I don't know what you guys are thinking. See the HAFS-A. 917 millibars. Wow. That's a category 5. A little weaker, though, but still exceptionally strong. By the way, this is the 0Z output of the HAFS. So this is the very latest. But if this doesn't rapidly intensify, then it could go more west. It's possible that it does, but I don't think it's going to do that because it's already at 80 miles an hour. No, 908 millibars. JIMP. This is the latest initialization, 96 hours out, 4 days. And we're looking at a Category 5 hurricane. And it's going to render more. We're going to get more of these boxes fill up. See what the latest HWARF shows. They're only out to 36 hours. That's 3 millibars deeper. See the HMON? See, 920 millibars. But not as strong as the HAFS-A run. Or B. Oh, we're out 105. Alright, it's weakening. Eyewall replacement cycle. Eyewall replacement cycle. Is it near any shipping routes? Let me see. Let's see here. Wait, this is not accurate. No, that's not accurate. It could be in the way of shipping routes. Anything with water in the ocean could get in the way. The HAFS-A. Let's look at the HAFS-A. 917 millibars. Yeah, it's going to be in the range of about 160 to 180 miles an hour with the winds. That's very strong, though. Eyewall replacement cycle, though. You could even see it. The ERC taking place. What system is a eyewall replacement cycle right now? Jova supposedly is going through an eyewall replacement cycle. And that thing is powerful. No, this is the forecast. JIMP HAFS-A B forecast. This is a hurricane model, everyone, that you're looking at. And we're looking at 105 hours out. So this is showing us the potential outcome. Thank you, Bev Taylor, for the $20 donation. I do appreciate that very much. Thanks for all your hard work here, David. You are awesome. I do appreciate that. I really do, Bev Taylor. I really love all of you a lot, and I just cannot wait. I tell my grandparents all the time, I gotta make a YouTube video for my viewers, because they're really important to me right now. And they're like, well, you gotta help us too, David. You can't just be sitting on the computer all day and making videos, you know? So, and I'm recording. Why am I recording? That's funny. I do appreciate that. I really do. So we got 934 millibars. Let's look at the HAFS-A B run. No new update on that. HAFS-A run. Not an IWL replacement cycle, but not any strong, a little stronger than the last one. By a couple of knots, or by a couple of points. What it does look like each basin will have a Cat 5 this year. True, right? At this point, it looks like it. The West Pacific had a Cat 5. The East Pacific had a Cat 5. The Atlantic could have a Cat 5. Well, the only thing that we're missing is a Cat 5 in the Indian Ocean, right? I think so. Chris Boss, thank you for the $1 donation. I do appreciate it. But for reference, this is the latest. This is the 18Z run of the Hurricane model. And I'll show this more in tomorrow's video on exactly where this is going to go. This is only out to 5.5 days. And we're looking at this moving safely in that direction, but we saw on the HAFS-B, it's a lot closer. All right, this is definitely an IWL replacement cycle taking place on the HAFS-B, so the storm looks to be weakening a little bit. That's what IWL replacement cycles typically do. By the way, if you guys are new and you really enjoy the updates, the videos that I create without any hype, any fear, please consider liking the stream, hitting the subscribe button, and making sure all notifications are turned on. I don't mention that very much in my videos about notifications, but please consider doing so you get all notifications every time I have a video uploaded. That way you're you don't have to play the guessing game and wonder, did David upload? So, yeah, this is going to get its act together. It really is. So you know what? The center might be over here. Might be a little offset. Maybe not. This is a look at the latest NHC forecast while we are waiting for the HAFS-B to fully render. It is moving towards the west-northwest at 14. Winds are at 80 miles an hour. But let's look at the ADT, if the winds have increased on that system. Probably not. 65 knots, so it's a little weaker than it was earlier. Definitely weaker. Right around 65 or so knots. It's climbing. No. You can see the intensity. It dropped. That's according to the ADT. But of course, that's one measurement. Hey David, any chance this is going to come to Florida? Not sure how much prep I need to do. So right now, if we simply look at the GFS model, actually, you know what? I'm going to use the ensembles because that's a bit more accurate than not using them at all. So if we look at the ensembles right now, and there's a couple of members that want this a little further to the south, but the majority of the cloud of members is over Bermuda and off the east coast of the United States. But there is a lot of model guidance spread here. This system's not going to move very fast. Once it gets to about day 5, it's really going to slow down. So we really don't know exactly how this is going to end up being. Right now, I would say no threat to Florida or Georgia or the Carolinas. Maybe Virginia, maybe the Northeast. But I don't think it's going to be very significant for Florida at all. Probably a 1% or less chance that you guys get a landfall. A 0.1% again. See what our hurricane model is showing. Still weakening. But the eyewall replacement cycle is what is the cause. Definitely an eyewall replacement cycle in the forecast. Oh, by the way, I wanted to show you all the low-level winds on this. Those could max out at 180 knots. 180 knot winds, which is beyond catastrophic. If this were to hit land, be a really big deal. Really big deal. See the HMON on Lee? Definitely still in the 920s. Low level winds, about 155 knots. 160, 170 knots. Wow, that's a big hurricane wind field, though, in the low levels. Let's look at the HWARF. Man, that HWARF, wow. That is much more intense. Much more intense on the HWARF. This really has serious potential. It definitely screams a Cat 5. This is going to organize very quickly. Once we get... This model particularly shows possibly a major hurricane by tomorrow night, which is reflected... close of a reflection with the NHC. That is bad. That is a big time. Very strong. Thank you for the $5 donation, J&A Adventures. I do appreciate the donation. Great job tonight, David. I tried to send a super sticker. Wouldn't work. I'll try again tomorrow or next time. Interesting that it didn't work. Interesting. Sometimes it doesn't work. Do you think North Carolina will be impacted? I went through the ensembles. Unless you just joined, I will show those again. That's coming from Carla Bornman. We'll go to the GEFS, which is the only one that's really out at the moment. Go to this. So again, go to the eastern seaboard sector. There's some wild outcomes here. I mean, in such a way some of them have these really fast. Some of the members are down here and some are down here. So that is a really big model spread. Really big. I mean, in such a way, we don't know where this is going to exactly make landfall. This could make landfall, for all we know, in the northeastern Bahamas or Nova Scotia or New York. We just don't know the exact answer yet. But what we do know is there's going to be something out here along the eastern seaboard, off the coast at least, between Bermuda and the eastern seaboard. So, yeah, there will be some impacts. We just don't know exactly. I wish I had the answer, and I'm sure you all are going to come to my YouTube and ask, David, what's it looking like? I'll tell you, I don't know until we get answers. I'm only as good as the models are, okay? I say what I see what I say. Or I say what I see. And what I see is what I say. And we're at 924 millibars on the HAFS-A B run. So very strong outcome. Now this is category 5 almost here. That's very strong. Really strong. Alrighty. If you all haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Man, I want to thank you all for participating. And actually, we're almost up to 13.5k subs. I absolutely appreciate this. I really do. And yes, I will have 2 videos out today if you're in Eastern time. One is scheduled for 12:30 in the afternoon or so, between 12 and 12:30, and another one is scheduled for about 7 or 8 o'clock, which is about 4 or 5 o'clock my time. Remember, I'm 3 hours behind some of you. So, yeah. Don't expect it at 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern time, but expect it at like 7 or 8 o'clock. Any questions you guys have at all before I close it down? Any questions you might have that you have not been able to ask me yet, please let me know, and I'll be happy to answer those. Man, it's 11 o'clock. Dang, I've been streaming for 3 hours. Yep. Good night and thank you. I'll see you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Alyssa Fairbanks. That last cone is fairly wide. Yes. Really wide here. Exceptionally wide. You're very welcome. But I want you all to think, before I head off, that I never clickbait my thumbnails in a hurtful, threatening, bad way. All right? For any disclosures out there, I'm not here to cause harm, to cause fear, to cause anything. All right? I want you all to understand that. Okay? Sometimes we got to spiff up our thumbnail a little bit. Okay. Okay. Could it make it to the Bahamas? Weather Alert is asking. Very slim possibility. It is a slim chance that it does. Okay? A very slim chance that it does. We will keep you updated on that. The cone is very wide, so there's a lot of uncertainty with it. David, will this be a Category 5? My intensity forecast does call this to become a Category 5 with winds up to 160 miles an hour by Sunday night. All right. Between Saturday night and Sunday night, I forecast a Category 5 with winds of 160 miles an hour. The NHC calls for 155. I call for 160. All right. Anything else? All I gotta say, I love you guys, and I want to thank you all for joining tonight. Be sure, if you haven't already, share this stream, share my videos to your friends and family that might be impacted with this. We don't know the answers for the Eastern Seaboard, so now is the time to share this, to get this out to thousands, if not millions of people, and hit the like button on my future videos, and also hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll be back with you more tomorrow with another update on Hurricane Lee, as long as it remains a threat. All right? Peace out. 2 videos tomorrow, by the way. Mark your calendar. 9 or 9:30 in the morning, followed by a second one between 4 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon, all in Pacific time. So make sure you mark your calendar, set your alarm, that sort of thing. All right? Now, peace. Have a good night.